Hi, Trisha. I'm going to do your soul rebirth journey now, okay? So, I'm thinking of how I'm going to introduce the work that I'm doing because you've had a really unique experience. During your younger years, it's been really hard and it's been abusive, and it's caused challenges for you to have what are natural emotions. So, so I'm just connecting with spirit, I'm connecting with you, and we'll get started, okay? So thank you for your openness and sharing this on YouTube too. So it's going to be a really big job. It's just a feeling of going downward right now. As I'm also connecting with you, I see you looking back at me. When I look into you, I see that you are showing me what is a face, and it's sort of on a stick like this. When I take the stick away, underneath is a much more gruesome looking face. Oh man, it's hard to describe it. It has several different faces that come to mind. So one kind of looks like a hamburger, but because it's round, it's sort of round, and it has like that color of a bun, you know, and then it has different layers to it, but it has sort of eyes and a mouth here. But then there's one that looks sort of stringy and sort of like pulled strings that are darker, I don't know, a darker green color, and they kind of make up what looks like a really slimy mouth and face. It just looks gruesome, and it looks like it's a mess, and it's not blending or making sense with who and what you truly are. This is not what you look like as a human being. You do not look like this as a human being. So I'm going to close my eyes and keep watching. I'm walking right now. I see this image, right? I'm still looking at this image while I'm simultaneously a young girl, and I'm walking down a sidewalk. And I'm wearing white, really thick colored white pantyhose and a dress. I have a coat on. It's cooler outside. Everything gets blocked. As I'm watching you walk, it gets stopped at this point. It's just a wall here. It's an energy wall. It's black and brown. It looks oily. And it's really hard to break through. You are standing at the wall, and you know the password to go in. So you are typing in some numbers. It is opening up. So you are showing me the way. This is difficult. I am trying to go through. It's not your typical doorway. It's not just something I can walk through. There's a buildup here. It looks like a budding flower of some kind, but it's completely jarred in the way, and I can't get through it, and it is not budded out at all. It hasn't bloomed yet. I hear screaming. It has to do with a female flower, you know, female body part. There's something about this. There's just absolute screaming. It's just a female screaming. Everything is dark, and all I hear is a female screaming at the top of her lungs, and she's just screaming. She won't stop. She's screaming. She shows me she's ripping her hair out and ripping her face skin off. It's really violent. She won't stop. Even a sensation of being hair pulled back. It's so violent. I'm supposed to say exactly as I see. The violence is severe. Everything is really dark. They're showing me they're showing me a knife being put to a throat, hair being pulled back. It's in such an extreme way. It's such an extreme way of somebody ultimately taking away your power in the most extreme and violent way. The knife never goes into the throat. Everything is softening now. I see a girl, she's holding a doll. She's on a chair, it is rocking. Everything is white in this room. She is talking to her doll, but she's not saying anything at all. Her doll knows and understands. The doll has got short blonde hair. It's doll hair. It's not like a Barbie doll, it's like a baby doll. It's wearing a little dress. She's sort of exploring the doll and the way the doll looks when the dress isn't on. She's looking at the doll as though she's looking at herself. This is important. There's some difficulty with me doing this because the scenes are kind of extreme. And so I'm just going to share as they show me, okay? I'm going to try not to pause out so much. But she's looking at the doll and she's touching the doll's lips. She's touching the doll in its private areas. Every time she's looking at the doll, I also see this dark image, and the dark image is twisting the doll's head off. The dark image is doing violent things. So I have a scene which is basically a young girl interacting with her doll, trying to make sense of what she's thinking about and understanding herself, while simultaneously it gets smeared over by a black image of just all this kind of darkness, and then the guy with the knife, throat, hair pulled back, and just constantly smearing around in this. It's just smearing, it's smudging and smushing. It's so dark. They're saying these two images have not blended together properly. They've been separated. Would you be okay if I blended this image in with this image? That's pretty dark, right? Might be really hard to tolerate feeling those feelings, wouldn't it? So maybe we can understand now why you chose not to have those feelings, why you chose to separate from them. They're saying this is what we're going to accomplish. Okay? It's important. It's important because this young girl needs to know how to cry. This young girl needs to know how to tell somebody what was done to her doll, because that's what was done to her. She needs to tell somebody who is loving and nurturing that she can share her emotions with somebody who can understand, that can hold her and help her feel better. This is too complicated for that young mind, and she doesn't have... There's nobody here in this room with her. There's no inspiration to go tell anybody at this time. She only talks to her doll, and sometimes she thinks about this, and as she's sort of looking at her doll, she's also looking at herself. She doesn't know how to relate to emotions properly because this is a sexual experience, and it's not a development because she's so young, and so the emotional part of that is confusing what are the growth of natural emotions for a child. This is a severe experience. It would be so severe as what I've already seen is just part of the screaming and the violence. Because in some version of reality, part of your infinite reflection, it says that this is how bad it really is. And the knife never goes into the throat, but it was a forced experience. And it was a forced experience that was painful. It was violent. It was wrong. It was controlling. It was forceful. It was selfish because of what the harm that it caused you. It's all sort of softening up some now. There keeps being this something about hamburgers. I mean, once it softens up, the first thought I have on my mind is hamburgers. I'm not sure what this is about, but I see a child now eating a hamburger and smiling. I keep saying hamburglar. He's the hamburglar. I see a child and she's at what is like a McDonald's or Burger King or whatever. And she's eating, she looks happy, and then something just weird happened and she decided to just go Pleh! And spit all of her burger out at the person sitting across from her. Because in that moment there was again a smushy moment and that just seemed like the right thing to do. And then she's laughing. It's not appropriate. This is not what you do in public. This is not the right behavior. Somehow this is her means to get attention, some way to try and have a conversation, but it's not coming out right. It's coming out in the wrong way, and it's not appropriate. That is what this is about. It feels really uncomfortable. It feels like there's a horrible energy that I feel, and it's sort of a burning sensation. It's got a blue hue to it. It kind of hits me sort of, at the pelvic region, and then goes straight up like a tube, and then it burns me right through here too. And so I'm just experiencing this sort of flame here, as I'm also experiencing trying to get the words out or trying to have it's an inappropriate behavior. I was never trying to speak, I was just acting, but I was acting based on a childlike need to talk, but I don't know how, I don't understand how to get to explain why I'm acting this way. It just is the only thing that makes sense. And in that, it just makes me burn a lot right here. There's a really long black pipe that's being pulled out of the top of the head, and it goes straight down, just like that. And this is sort of man with the black. He sort of looks like he's all in a black shadow, and he's got a black hat on. And so you just see the outline of everything, and then he's like a bandit or something. And then he takes the pipe and he does this with it. You know, as a means to say, you better not tell anybody, kind of thing. Or this is what's going to happen. You're going to be bad. You know what happens to kids who are bad. So it's just paused for a minute. So a young girl, she has her hair French braided. There's something, she's removing a dress like she's going to go get into the tub. There's something about a bristly brush that is being brushed on the hair right now. There's another odd paintbrush on the hair up here. This is more like the type of this brush here. The one is sort of bigger. It's like what you would use to old men back in the day would put a shave cream or something on. It's some kind of like brush like that for like putting on shave cream or something like that. Or maybe brushing off after you get a shave on, you know, your haircut or whatever, maybe a brush that sort of gets that off. It's thicker. It's got a lot of bristles on it. But for some reason that's being brushed on your hair. It makes me think of hair dye, like, you know, they use kind of a weird brush, but this is rounded and it's thicker. There's different colored hues to the hair. This is sort of, looks like it's got white streaks in it and a young child, and this one's sort of golden and it's got color to the back part. I'm seeing her face is looking paler here. I'm seeing her from behind. I'm not seeing her from the front, but it's enough on the side. I can tell that it's getting paler. And then this is sort of got a golden, it's like a brown, golden brown color there. So she's getting in the tub. There's some sort of shame or awkwardness in being naked. It's really unnatural for a young child. I mean, this girl's maybe 5 years old. It's too young to feel ashamed or, you know, uncomfortable being naked. So she gets in the tub and she's kind of in an awkward position. It's like she's trying to, so you have a tub, it's long ways, right? So if she's trying to lay down her stomach, you know, the short ways, she's kind of rounded, and then kind of her legs are up against the wall, and then so her body's sort of in this awkward position now, looking out at me so I can see her face. I ask her, how is you supposed to get cleaned up in the tub if you're gonna lay all goofy like that? She shows me that she's got some teeth missing. They say that makes it more of a beautiful smile. It's a lot more fun when you got some holes in your mouth. You can stick your tongue through them. You're not telling me anything else, but you just keep looking at me. And as you look at me, your feet and legs start to, I don't know, they get disoriented and they get wavy. And it goes down to the right before the buttocks region. It just gets all wavy right there. Everything feels kind of dizzy or disorienting, even in the head region. I'm seeing a rainbow of colors. I'm seeing you trying to blend into a rainbow. You're trying to blend yourself into what is like piano keys, but each key is a different rainbow color. And so you're disappearing into wavy lines that are part of what is like a rainbow sort of arched piano keys, and they're different colored parts of a rainbow, and you're blending in with it. You're part of the wave now of rainbow. There's something here about, it's sort of like you're riding on the back of a dragon or something. It's something like, you know, Puff the Magic Dragon or something. There's something like a magical, childlike dragon. And it's got kind of, it's a snake-like dragon. So it doesn't have feet or arms. It's just a snake-like, and then it has the face. But we're a part of the tail. This rainbow part is part of a dragon's tail. And the dragon is purple. This wavy line is getting faster and it's in motion. It's interesting because you always see the same wavy line, but it's moving, and it's moving fast, really fast, straight ahead. But yet it's still exactly the same image. But I can tell it's moving really, really fast. It's rippling forward, and now as it ripples forward, it goes flat. Each of these sort of hills goes flat. And once it goes flat, everything gets black. I see sort of a cartoon image of tears, but they're coming out the sides, kind of like arches as well, just arches of water, really thick water. There's a dust pile from where all those arches were. It just kind of turns into, when it lays flat, notice there's a broom sweeping up the mess, and it's just a big dust pile now. There's a dust pan, and we're just sweeping it into the dust pan so we can throw it all away. this is about you too. It's like throwing you away. You were alive and now your thriving life energy, it just flattened out, turned into a dust pile, and now we just put all the dust, threw it all away. So now what are you? You are in the trash? Or are you not in the trash? How do we take that back and give it back to you? How do we recreate what had happened in a way that we can rebuild, so you can have back what was taken from you, basically, or what you lost? How do I define it in language? This is what they're showing me. So they want to show that this old part of you, it's okay to let that go. We can see that is in the trash, that they're saying this is correct, that this is all correct, because there's a whole new way of experiencing life now. So we need to work on just letting this go. And through letting it go, we start helping to it's sort of like I see every little tiny particle that we thought was thrown away forever. It has a part of you in it, and it starts, the more you can let go, the more these particles of dust turn into dust all around you, and you start to breathe them into your life and inhale them and start to feel yourself becoming collected again, the person that you've always been. It's just an illusion of thought that it was ever thrown away. The more you work on healing this, and through it, what I could only define as acceptance and then letting go, it has a way of creating dust particles of yourself that are actually returning to you. And so you're recreating yourself. You always were yourself, but somehow it felt like everything turned to dust and got thrown away. They're showing me you are returning to you as sort of particles of you, or becoming part of you again. I'm seeing the same face that was on the stick. This is the real face, and the real face of you is now looking around at what are these, they're pink and blue sort of specks in the air, and you can kind of see them through the way the light hits, and then when the light hits you see them and acknowledge them, and then you really want to inhale them, but when you do, there's quite a face here. So you just transformed into, I don't know how to describe this. It's basically really brown, and it has a pinched part here. It looks like a really odd pillow, but it's definitely a face. And it's got a rounded part here in the center, and it kind of beads out a little bit like that. But it's like a rounded pillow kind of thing, and it's sort of, the edges are kind of tuft a little bit, and then it's got this round piece here. And so when you inhale this, that is the image I see next. It's like a pillow. Pillows don't have mouths that can inhale. You sit on pillows, you lean against pillows. It's not exactly a pillow though, because it's a real person. It has real feelings. It's not a part of the furniture. It's a real person. So behind the pillow, I see a face of what is kind of a very short, it's a man, but it's a cartoonish sort of image. He's got a carrot for a nose. He's really hunched over. He's like 4 foot tall, and he's got some black hair and some white skin, but he's sort of, I don't know, he's kind of got like a grimace and sort of a troublemaker kind of smile. He's older. It's a cartoon image, but it kind of looks like a mad scientist in a weird way with a massive carrot nose kind of thing. I'm picking him up. I'm putting him on my shoulders. We are walking somewhere together. I'm walking into a room where it is dark everywhere, but there's some tiny red speckles of light. There's some sort of image of light coming down, though, too, from the ceiling, but it's just an open room. I mean, there are no walls at all. It's just different reflections of light. There's a lot of reflection of shadow that comes down, darkness, and then red specks, and then there's white light that shines down too. We are walking to the white light. We are standing underneath it, me and this man on my shoulders. He is moving vigorously on my shoulders like he's trying to stand up, but I'm holding his legs down, so he can't. He's still sort of scrambling. There's sort of what is like, you know, a cat that's tired of you holding and it starts moving its legs a lot, and it's just like, let me down, let me down, let me down. So that's what's going on right now. I want to let go. I want to let go of him, but I don't know why I need to just hold his legs down. That's the need, to just hold his legs down. There seems to be spiritual beings here that are trying to help him, release him from my grip, but they can't really, I won't let go of him. They say it's okay to let go of him now, so I do. When I let go, he disappears, I too disappear in the light. There's nothing here but emptiness and just different reflections of light now. I'm entering into this room again as a different version of myself. I feel odd about I feel like I'm not actually walking on a floor. I feel like I'm walking, but I'm walking in the air somehow. But I just don't feel like I'm attached to this place, but yet I'm here. I just need to understand my feelings about this place. I recognize this place. I feel like I've been here before. I just want somebody to understand. I just want somebody to know me. To know me. But I'm invisible, even though I'm not invisible. I feel invisible here, but I'm not invisible. Everybody can see me, but there's nobody here but me. I just feel like this is the way I'm relating to what I'm seeing, right? I'm taking a moment to examine the way it feels some more. It's important that I take the time now to show you your feet are on the ground, okay? This part of you is still floating around in this room, and it's time for this part of you to feel like it really is in the room. It has feet on the ground, and we're going to create a space in here that you can actually see the details, okay? Because you cannot have this much emotion or this much meaning in a room that is entirely empty with different reflections of darkness. And there's only what is a spotlight in the center here. And then there's different reflections of red dust. And there's nothing holy about this place. There's nothing meaningful about this place. It's an empty place. And yet for some reason, a part of you feels the need to call this home. A part of you feels a need to relate to this somehow, to stay here. For some reason, some part of you cannot leave this place. And so it's important that I help this part of you see, feel, understand that it's okay. This place, it's part of who you were, it's part of what was. And so we're going to do some work here, okay? I'm helping you to feel that there is ground here. Is important because when I came into this place, there were no walls or floor or ceiling, right? But yet it's a room. And so I have to create the experience of a space, all right? Because to you, that is, how are you ever going to feel grounded if this part of you cannot ever find the ground? This part of you is really, this is a really big deal. So I'm asking my spirit guides for assistance here. As I'm trying to create ground, or the sensation of ground, there is what is a floor developing, and then the floor breaks inside. So I could just fall for a million miles. Who knows? So when I try to go down there, just to see if I'm meant to go down there, the floor closes really quick. So I'm saying, okay, we have a sturdy ground. I'm standing on top of a part that could go in any minute now, and I'm tapping on it with my foot. I'm choosing to say that this is a part of life experience. I'm standing on a vulnerable thing that collapses at any moment, but I'm choosing to just trust in the experience, trust that this is part of what I'm meant to be doing right now. There's something that's potentially unsafe about this, but I don't feel vulnerable, I don't feel scared, I don't feel concerned at all. So I'm just going to stand in here and pound it as hard as I can with my foot, see how sturdy it is. And then if it opens up and I fall for miles and miles and miles down, and then I fall for miles, it's meant to be. I'm meant to fall for miles. And so I'm just doing that right now. It feels good to tap the floor with my foot. And I'm telling you to come over here. I want to show you something. You show me this, it keeps doing this, but I'm showing you that I'm standing here in the middle and I'm not falling. It can show me that it's going to collapse at any time, but it's not going to collapse. It's an illusion. It's an illusion trying to create fear in a place where there's no reason to be afraid. So I reach my hand out to you and I ask you to come here with me. And so we can both stand here on this platform that could literally go like this, could cave in. And then, it's like walking on a grate that, who knows, maybe it'll just break in and I'll just fall into the sewer and break my legs, It's the risk you take when you walk over a grate, it's a rhyme too. But this here, it really does have a latch and it could fall, but we're not going to fall. It's already showing that I'm not going anywhere. I'm not meant to go anywhere. I'm just showing you that too. So I'm encouraging you to come over here and stand with me. And now I'm encouraging you to dance with me on top of this thing is collapsed. And now we're standing and dancing on top of a hole that we should be falling millions of miles down. But we're not, right? We're just dancing now. We're dancing like a jig and some like tap dance style too. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of like a hoedown style or something silly. I'm showing you. I'm helping you feel happy from the sensation of dancing. I'm giving you the energy and joy to feel your feet moving and dancing to a rhythm. I'm creating that energy here. I'm helping you feel safe too because you're dancing over this thing with me, and guess what? We're safe. There's nothing bad gonna happen here. So as we're dancing, there's several scenes of vulnerability. This one here shows a version of you as a young sort of Goldilocks looking girl with a blue bonnet falling through the floor, and then Hitler's there to catch you. And I say that's just part of your fear speaking, okay? So that's good. Let's keep dancing. I'm going to heal this fear, and we'll just see what other fears come out so that way you can heal those too. So this one is pretty serious because it's not going to go away right away. I'm encouraging you to keep tap dancing. I've got this. So I'm just going to let you keep dancing. I'm calling several angels in to help them be there with you so you don't feel alone. So I'm down here and there is a floor and it's dirty and it's just, it's like a dirt floor. There's dirt walls, dirt ceiling. It's dark down here. There's Hitler here, literally Hitler. And then there is you, like a young Goldilocks girl, perfect ringlet curls and a blue bonnet and a blue cute girl. Everything about you is absolutely perfectly adorable. You look like a doll. And so he's got you. But you disappear from his hands. I'm standing here before him. He's trying to show that he's bigger than me. He's got red eyes sometimes. I tell him to please share as much as he feels he needs to. This is part of the healing. I am okay. There's something coming out of the ground. It's being made out of mud. It's some sort of, it looks like a slot machine or something coming up. There's There's definitely there's definitely a sexual scene going on here between Hitler and the slot machine. So this is all part of the healing. Sometimes these pictures get really strange, but there's a reason. It's a slot machine. I mean, we're talking about sexual abuse here. There's something to why I'm seeing it like this. This is the way Spirit shows me the images. There's symbolism every single time. So this is what is part of the healing here. So I'm just allowing this to speak. This is part of your infinite reflection that is speaking to me to help you feel better. So you're not a machine, you're a human being. You're not a machine, you're a human being. You can't win the lottery. There's no winning the lottery here. Nobody wins. That too is part of this. This isn't a game either. This is real. There's more to it than this. They're saying words like, this is a game. This is, I'm winning the lottery. I have control. I'm going to play this game. I'm going to work the slot machine. There's words like that. So we're talking here to help create understanding that you are not a machine. You are a real human being. Something to why everything seems to rhyme. I mean, this is getting really out of control and it's getting out of hand. He doesn't care. He's continuing to treat you like, there's a sexual scene continuing on here, and it's getting more and more intense here. This is really important. There's an image of like a weird mud-shaped, sort of oval-shaped mouth without teeth. I don't know if it's a mouth. Is it trying to scream? What is it doing? But it keeps showing itself in the midst of this scene between Hitler and a slot machine. There is a sensation of a little bit more aggression, but it's not as violent as the first one I saw, where it's just screaming and the knife to the throat. This is not, it just feels aggressive. More aggressive is the energy. There's something trying to create itself in the mud. I just see it. So I'm just going to be patient and allow it to be what it is. It's somehow letting out air, and as it goes like that, it just seems to get smaller and smaller and shrink down and down. Something feels like it's relaxing and it's not as crazy. Everything's getting more and more relaxed, even so much as I feel like I'm a balloon and all the air just got pinpricked, and then all the air is just going and I'm turning into, what is, if you have a blow-up doll, what does it turn into when you let the air out? It's just flappy. It's not real. That's the way this is feeling. But there's something that makes me feel good about the way that I'm no longer full of air. I'm just a flappy material. You can't do much with a flappy material, I just feel like all the air is being let out, and I don't know. I just don't necessarily have any feeling right now. I just feel just like a balloon without air, This is being kept secret. It's in a hidden room. It's something about this room being beneath the floor. It's kind of hidden, from everything. The whole thing is just a hidden experience, It's just hidden beneath the floorboards, and nobody knows about it. Telling you this was a really wrong thing that happened. it's everything so quiet, and the joy is completely deflated. There's no joy at all remaining. And even the need to tap dance, it's sort of like, what's the point? What's the point of tap dancing anymore? And now we see that you are trying to say, you see why I don't want to touch the floor? You see why I just can't, I don't know how to feel? They say, yeah, I do see why. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to give you a hug. So I am. Say, you know what, all we can do is just one step at a time, right? We'll just go through these. You're not alone. And I'll just give you a hug whenever it gets really hard, because that's what you needed in the first place. You just needed hugs, and you needed somebody who could help you understand. Even at that age, it would have been, I mean, it's just very hard, you know? The whole thing is very, very hard. You show me you're splitting in two. Like an axe just came straight down the center, and just you went like two halves, just split one side and then the other. And they just fall to the ground. It's sort of like splitting a banana in two. But you're still there, and you're floating again. You're wearing a green outfit. You're even in a rocking chair above the ground. You don't want to touch the ground. It bothers your feet. You don't like it. You don't like the way it feels on your feet. It hurts you. It bothers you. You're starting to get more and more, it's a violating feeling. It's bothersome. It's creating more anxiety for you. It's just, I have a right, I have a reason why I don't want to touch the floor, and the thought of me touching it is really bothering me right now. So I'm just letting you share all of your anxiety, okay? The more you share your anxiety, the higher up the rocking chair gets. It's getting further and further away. So I'm just letting you share, so that way you can get these feelings out. You have a right to get the feelings out. This is a way you feel. You have a right to feel this way. So it's important, though, that we work on helping you get your feet on the ground, okay? But I'm not going to force you. I'm just going to be patient. I am standing on the ground firmly. I look up at you. You're not looking at me yet. Some part of you doesn't want me to see anything else. You don't want me to see the next scene. You don't want me to do anything more. So I know there's something not going to be good here. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it building inside of me. Like it's a really creepy, loomy feeling. But I say it's important. So you just sit in your rocking chair way up there where you feel safe, and I'll go where spirit takes me. I'm calling angels in to be here with you, so you're not alone, okay? So I'm just waiting. There's the development of we're still in the room. Your rocking chair is literally kind of positioned on a rounded hill. The hill is it's like a reddish, dark red, really, really, really dark red, brown, and black. So I'm just looking at that. And, you should be sliding on down to the ground here, but you're not. You're just perfectly positioned. You're just not. You're defying gravity. I am opening a door in the hill. I'm going through what is like the center of the head. It's like somebody's forehead. I'm just going into like their third eye region. And I'm going downstairs. It's dark everywhere. It's so dark there's no walls here either. It's just pure dark, but there's distinguished stairs. I'm going down into nothingness. I'm literally trotting down into nothingness. There's some sort of fitness feel about this, like I'm taking my steps. I don't know, I'm like trotting down, like I'm a fitness person going downstairs, seriously doing it for the purpose of exercise. The stairs turn sharply to the right, and then I'm still going down them into nothing. I feel like there's no handrails here. I could fall off if I'm not careful, but they're not narrow enough that I'm vulnerable to that, but I take notice of it. The stairs now are getting weirder. So they're turning to the right again. They go down and then they go sharply up, insanely up. Now I'm walking upside down and I'm going down stairs that are curving down and around the side. We're going down, 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 fast, 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 fast. But we're doing it trotting down each single step. And now it's kind of veering to the side, going up. I'm going upside down and I'm going down and around again. So it's like the roller coaster ride, but it's perfect steps and I'm able to go upside down even while I'm going steps. It's just getting to be so much. I'm getting dizzy from this. I'm going upside down and I'm going down steps and I'm just getting dizzy from this. I just want to be done. I'm so sick of these steps. Can I just go? Where am I trying to go? Now it's going downward, upside down, and I'm going up and I'm not going anywhere. I'm just in a room of nothingness. It's just never going to end. They're showing me that I am inside a head and this is what is inside this head. It's just all these stairs that are just going up and down and left and right, and it's just trotting up and down and we're not going anywhere. And there's no walls, there's nothing here, there's nothing to see, there's no joy, there's only frustration in the fact that I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired of this. I'm so tired, but I just can't seem to stop, and I want to sit down, and I just really want to sit down. So I am. It's really hard. It's really hard, I say. I'm just so tired. Why am I being forced to do this? I'm worn out. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm so worn out. I'm sitting down, I'm taking my shoes off, and I'm throwing them into the darkness. They're showing me that it is becoming a slide now. I'm going straight down. I'm going to the side. It's sort of a tunnel slide. It's kind of can go, oh man, it's making me dizzy now. It's just, you can't stop the tunnel slide. Once you start going down that thing, it's just like, oh my gosh. It's just so much right now. I'm still going down in every weird direction. It was like taking the stairs, but now it's the tunnel slide that goes upside down, side to side, really, really fast, going in a direction, but where are we going? I'm taking my socks off. I'm just stopping. And as I stop, it's the inertia is just pushing me up. I'm smashing through the top of this thing. I'm standing up and then my feet are stuck. I'm just going whoosh and then falling flat on my face. I've got sticky feet. I'm a male. I'm a man now. Oh man, I'm telling you, that was a long ride. Everything he's breaking, he is got feet glued to this, and then he's breaking off from the slide. And so he's just got a patch of slide stuck to his feet, and he's sort of levitating in darkness. He's cartoonish too. He's got a really long, sort of rounded oval nose that sort of hangs down a little bit. He's kind of straight lined and taller, and he's got a rounded head, no hair. He's older. There's something farmery about him, but I'm just trying to describe the way he stands, or there's something kind of reminds me of something farmery about him. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Something weird about his toes. Because I'm feeling the sticky glue, and it's sort of like, ooh, these toes look a little weird. I don't know, there's like, maybe they got fungus, or I don't know what's wrong with them. They're just kind of dirty, but they're kind of bacteria, sort of weird toenails, and They're saying he's lost too. He does not know where he's going. He's just levitating here in the infinite nothingness. It's just a dark void. There's nothing here. He's looking up, he's looking side to side, he's looking down. He knows there's nothing here, but yet he's continuing to just levitate somewhere. He's just going somewhere. What happens when you're in infinite nothingness? Where could you possibly go? It's going to be dark up, down, side to side. It's just infinite nothingness. It's not a wonderful feeling at all. It's a terrible, awful, horrible, horrendous nightmare feeling. I mean, where is there to go? There's nowhere to go. You could, for all eternity, go straight, go up, go down, go right, go left, and not ever get to a place. Never get anywhere. Never see another person's face. Never hear a sound. Never feel the wind. Never see a color. Never feel hot or cold. Never feel sad. Never feel joy. Never feel anything. It's just a complete void. It's no emotions, no thoughts, no directions, nothing. Nothing there. Thing is, you could watch him going straight for miles and miles, and he might as well be in the same spot. Because what is it? It's a void. It's nothing. So he's standing in the same place no matter what direction he goes. It's like the ultimate nightmare. And they're saying, and you want to examine his toes? Say, well, that's kind of true, because there's something interesting about those toes. That does give us something to do. So that somehow inspires a ground to formulate. It just creates. He's sitting down and he's looking at his own toes. And now it's sort of like it's a real ground. There's grass growing, there's a pavement, but it's sort of a dirt pavement. It's sort of a dirty trail or something. And there sounds like kids playing in a playground. It sounds like a lot of kids, even a ball bouncing. Like there could be like a basketball court or something where you toss the ball in and it goes through the different holes or whatever. But he's picking this off of the bottom of his feet. And it's just like cardboard got stuck to the bottom of his feet now. And he's sort of looking around here. He's just here at a playground. He's calling for somebody. I feel exhausted. The sensation of energy shifting, and it's creating a sensation of exhaustion. There's some girl here. She's kind of exotic. She's kind of Asian. She's got sort of an Asian features. She's got dark brown hair, but it's not black. It's thicker and it's straight, and it goes to the shoulders. She's got a really cute smile. She's got 2 dimples on either side. She's creating sunlight from her sort of smile and just her joy alone. I can't stop looking at her. It's all I see. Everything about her is really charming to me. Is something, every little detail about her is like a heavenly gift. And I'm telling you, she's not extraordinarily, she's like an average girl. She's like maybe 5 or 6 years old. She looks like just a cute girl, There's nothing she's not wearing. I mean, she's just wearing jeans and a t-shirt. She's like any other girl I would see at a playground, but this one is the one that I am focused on. There's nothing changing in the scene. I just see her stalled out and smiling, and she never moves. She never stops smiling. She never changes her direction. She never frowns. She's stuck. She too is now stuck. There's no movement at all. There's no movement by him. There's no movement by her. I can't even see him because the focus is on her. Everything feels stuck, and now I'm seeing that she too is sort of like a piece of cardboard, just a cardboard cutout. Like I could just cut her right out of the sky. Like, there's a blue background kind of. We're on just a little bit of a grassy sort of area. I could cut out some grasses around the feet. She's just stuck like a cardboard cutout. She's not a real girl anymore. She's just a cardboard cutout. But the way the features are, even though she's just a cardboard cutout, I still am sort of entranced by the features of her. So I say I just don't know what else to do. I'm telling my spirit guides, there's some meaning to this too. It's not just feeling stuck, as in now you're cardboard cutout. It's I just don't even know what to do. Nothing is changing. Nothing is altering. The pattern is not going away. Nothing is changing. And so something about being stuck in the mind, being stuck in the emotions. Where do I go from here? What happens next? Now there's a sensation of being stuck. In more than one way, see? And that sensation of being stuck is like absolutely, it's more than just having your feet stuck to a cardboard piece in a realm of infinite darkness and no sound, no color, no nothing. It's worse. It's still a part of that, this sort of stuck feeling. Nothing is coming back to life. It's always going to be this way. It's always going to be this way. It's never going to come back to life. That's the sounds, that's the thoughts, that's the feelings. I cannot rip myself apart. I cannot create life within me. I cannot blow myself up again. I can't bring back my youth. I can't bring back my movement and my playfulness and the child that I once was. I'm just a cardboard cutout. That is what this is showing itself as. I'm taking this cardboard cutout and I'm bringing it into the room where you are on the rocker. I'm showing this to you. Your rocker is now sliding down the hill of the head, and then it is against the floor, and you're but you're not looking or acknowledging just yet. You're busy doing something. There's more of a sort of a, what is, this happens. So we're having an interaction here. As I'm getting through to you, there's an energetic vibration freak out. It just happens for a split second where you literally barf out some dark energy and then the scene goes back to the way that it was. So that's telling me that things are changing. This is creating a need to let go or release some more dark energy. So I'm just being patient with you, okay? So I'm showing this to you some more. The room is getting darker and darker. You are busying yourself faster. You are making sounds with whatever it is that you've got your hands on. You're starting to get really agitated, uncomfortable. The room is getting really dark. It feels like there's blood in the air. It's just getting really agitating. There's a part of you that is screaming, and it's coming out of your body. It has sharp teeth. It's screaming at me. It's, again, the sort of same chaos as the beginning with the, freak out of just ripping the skin and the hair and everything. It's just releasing this emotion. It's important. You can't keep that stuff bottled up inside. It has a presence. It has a voice. It needs to share itself. And that's how you heal. You get those parts out, and then you can fill those spaces with love. So I'm encouraging it to speak and share. It doesn't matter if it looks scary or gruesome or whatever. It just needs to come out. So I'm helping you. Scene is doing a couple things. This, oh man. So everything is extremely dark right now. I'm still here. Everything is very dark. You are creating the darkness. And you are busying yourself and ignoring, basically, while simultaneously you are releasing old energy. It's coming out of the mouth and it looks sort of like a tube, and it's releasing some sort of brown gas of some kind. So you're just going, it's sort of a tube releasing some poisonous gases. This room is just getting really, really, really dark and gloomy and uncomfortable. There's even more violence trying to come in and rip things apart. It's trying to attack me. I'm welcoming it to come in. All the walls are bubbling. They look like that's acid. This just getting darker and more gruesome. The walls are just bubbling. The walls want to collapse. Everything, the floor here is just disintegrating. There's more screaming going on. We seem to be, I don't know, it's like we're inside of something else. Everything is going away and it's just dark everywhere now. You're still in a rocking chair, busying yourself, ignoring me, squirting this stuff out while I'm watching, and everything is just collapsing now. And there's more of this sort of violent screaming in the darkness. And it's starting to soften now. It's starting to not feel so agitated. It's starting to relax and calm down some. You're really angry at me. I tried to come touch you on your shoulder and give you a hug, and you just get away from me. So I'm just waiting right now. I'm opening a door. I'm letting light in. There's something walking in here, and it's coming towards you. Your chair is spinning around. You are to look at this. You cannot hide forever. There's so much. So a part of you is still releasing more, you're losing your eyeballs, your skin's coming off, everything's just sort of peeling off right now. It's just getting more and more wound up. This it's spinning really, really fast. It's like when you're really uncomfortable, you're starting to panic, you're having an anxiety. It just feels like everything starts spinning really, really, really fast. We can't find peacefulness. We can't find relaxation. So there's nothing I can do right now but allow. This is part of healing you, is allowing this stuff to speak, to come out, to release itself. Sometimes it gets really overwhelming, but it's part of getting the energy vibrations, those cords of energy, they have to come out, and so this is how they're coming out. So I'm watching as your rocking chair is it's like it's on train tracks, and the train tracks are moving in a perfect square. Basically, you go doot, turn, doot, turn, doot. And so you're going in a perfect square right now is what you're doing. And now this door that opened and whatever's come in here that's been bothering you so much now that you have to look at, now you are on train tracks, and then you are doing this. And you're still busying yourself. There's just so much calamity going on here. There's more sounds, there's more noises, but the screaming isn't there. It just feels like too much filling the mind or the head, and it's just getting so congested. All right, I'm gonna stop your chair from moving. That created quite a ripple. I am having you stand on your own 2 feet, and your feet are against the floor. I am holding your hand. We are walking towards the door. The light is coming in. I'm saying, look, you're not alone. Anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, let's look at it together, okay? Again, the door slams shut, and you are releasing more sort of, a deformed version of yourself is coming out of the inside. You're just peeling your skin away and showing it to me. You're so angry. How is this ever going to heal? You're screaming at me. You're screaming at me with full force. And there's basically a deformed child on the inside. It's covered in slime. It has no hair. It's on the inside of you. You're screaming at me and screaming, how is this ever going to heal? I'm being patient. I'm encouraging you to release emotion. This is important. I'm here with you and I'm sharing extraordinary vibrations of love. And I'm telling you through these vibrations that it is healing. It's healing already. And it's healing by you being willing to share with me. Don't hold back, okay? This is hard. And you have a right to be extremely angry. And part of healing is letting all the emotions out, because now look, we've exposed this really painful part of you, and now it can be touched and nurtured. This is part of your inner child here, and this part of your inner child needs to come out and needs to be held and needs to be loved. And if getting the inner child out means you need to scream and be angry at me, at the universe, you have that right. So please just know it's okay to release emotions. I am snapping my fingers. We are in a garden now. I say it's time to be somewhere else, don't you think? We've been in a dark room for a really long time, and I don't want to be in darkness, and I don't want you to be in darkness either. So here, let's see, there's grasses, there's a garden of flowers. It's beautiful here. So some part of you is at peace and some part of you is slamming the door shut, closing, hiding that sort of deformed part of you, and is breathing very hard, looking at me and just enraged. So I'm looking at one version of you as peaceful and one of you is still unhappy, is still very angry. I am encouraging this one to enter into the peaceful scene with us. I'm saying you're welcome here. It's safe here. You're starting to say, okay. You're calming way down. You're walking through the darkness and you're walking into our garden now. And now it is you that has chosen to sit in the garden with me. Not me just snapping my fingers and now we're here. You actually choosing now to leave the dark room and come in here into the light in the garden with me. Now you're showing me more deformity, but this is you. And you have sort of like what is like an infant version of yourself sort of growing on the front of your body. And it's sort of, your body looks like a deformed human. So I'm just here with you. I'm having you breathe in the fresh air. I'm having you inhale the fragrances of the flowers. I'm touching this infant sort of is grown to your chest here. And so I'm just touching it with my hands. And then I'm just sharing love with it. I'm speaking to heaven. I'm sharing light through my hand, sharing light into you. There are different ways that you morph your body, and as you're sort of ingesting this love energy, and so I'm just continuing to speak to heaven and share healing with you through love, through my hands, and I'm sharing it directly into you. What is where your heart portal is? It's just in the center of your chest. It's the same height as where your heart is, but specifically directly into the center. I'm calling Archangel Raphael to enter into the scene and share loving energy with you. So green energy. He's using some green flame and then sharing it here with your heart area. And then also what is over it, sort of this growth. It looks like an infant in a bundle that's just glued to your chest. There's energy, green energy, that is entering into your body. It's dispersing throughout you. I can see it going through the toes, your legs, going through all parts of your body, your shoulders, your arms, your fingers, your neck, your head, your eyes. You're turning black. It's sort of like I can see through the skin, and underneath the skin there's just a voided version of you. It's just black on the inside, so I can see all this green sort of flame is filling up these black spaces and making you feel whole. It's focusing on the female region. There's a massive orb of energy that sort of bubbles there and then goes up and then out your head. This is a big deal. There's a lot of this. There's still more of this. It's getting less and less. You're still kind of morphing around and shifting. So we're just sharing more of this green energy and green flame, and I'm sharing more loving energy from heaven, and Raphael's here, and we're working together to share love and healing with you in this garden. There's a part of you waking up on a beach, and I can hear waves of water rolling in, and it's late at night. It's not dark yet, though, but the sun isn't on the horizon. But it's like it just perfectly went down, and it's still blue enough. It's not dark yet. You feel like you've got a swollen belly. You're like, oh, and laying on your side. You're literally a woman who's extremely pregnant, laying on your side. You're asking me to get it out. It's not like a child. It's more like just really full of some sort of negative, dark energy. It sort of looks like black seaweed. Sort of looks like cabbage. It just looks like slimy black cabbage or seaweed or something. So I'm just helping it to come out of you. This is really positive. This is really releasing a lot of dark old energy. This is really important. There's a spiral of energy coming down from heaven, like a tunnel that is connecting to this sort of swollen area. And heaven is literally like a vacuum sucking in all of that dark energy. Your belly is getting smaller, 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 and it's specifically your uterus. And so it's getting smaller, and you're starting to look healthier. You're looking better. There's some smiling faces from some really extreme light, and it's kind of got a blue hue to it. One's male, one's female. They both have like a really thin golden ring around their head, and it kind of comes to a point like it's a really thin crown or something. Each one they both have one. The female and the male both have one. They're holding hands, and their hands, one is standing on either side of you as you're laying down on the beach, and they're sort of they're holding hands looking at me. Where their hands are being held is directly above you. And now they are turning and facing each other. And now they are putting their hands together and looking into each other's eyes. They're glowing really, really bright. And their brightness is expanding. So you are inside this sort of orb of super light. They're very loving. They're coming from pure white light, but it's blue as well. It's got a light blue kind of hue to it. There's more of them coming through this light, and they're sharing more energy with you. There's lots. There's like hundreds of them coming here to the beach. I mean, they're all just coming from the light. It's interesting because it looks like they're coming from afar, but they're actually in the inside of the light too. So where are they? They're coming from everywhere. But there's white light everywhere too. But yet I can still make out these two and you. And I'm standing here watching all of this. I can still experience the sand and the beach. It's getting extremely bright. This blue is in the white light. It's really, really intense. Some part of you keeps popping up and then laying down and popping up and laying down. You're doing it faster, faster, faster now. I'm trying to help you relax. All your body is sort of convulsing now and moving in all different directions. They're encouraging you to spit out more of the stuff. It's coming out the mouth this time. Lots of just old, dark energy. It's coming out. You're even starting to turn into light yourself. And as the light, you're sort of moving in all different ways. They're showing me you're sort of like particles that are just doing this. They're just like lots of particles just doing this. And just twinkling, sparkling. But they're in the light too. But they're moving really, 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 really fast. So your structure is now turned into particles of energy. Lots and lots and lots of them. They're encouraging you to be in the center, right in between their hands. So you're sort of upright now as just energy particles. And they're looking at you now. You're standing up in the center, and you're in between their hands like this. And then you're right in here, okay? And then they're looking like this. You're in the center. This is huge. There's so much love here all over the place. This is more than I've ever seen before. I've never seen this before. It's basically what are lots and lots of soulmates, lots of loving soulmates from heaven. I'm not sure who these two are, but they absolutely are pure loving energies from heaven, specifically here to help you, put you back together again. That's the only way I could describe it. It's the most beautiful, loving, most extraordinary thing. It's sort of mind-blowing right now. And so I'm just watching you starting to come back together, starting to put yourself together again, and then start to re-solidify and feel like it's okay to show your face. And show your face to us. And as that happens, you're being held by hundreds of people on all sides. I'm telling you, it's the most beautiful thing. It's really, really loving. It's very loving for you. It's important that you know that this many faces of love have known about your trauma and have been waiting for the day where they could come through and hold you. It's really a big deal. Because you've needed that really, really bad. So it's still happening. It's really loving. It's really beautiful. It's like everybody is here to love you. So you can know what love feels like. You can know what a hug feels like when you've needed one so bad. It's really loving. I'm still in the experience. I feel the love is really, really strong, and it's blinding love is the only way to describe it. There's so many loving hearts and loving energies here on all sides, just all blended together, and you are blending into their love as well, and you're blending into all of them hugging you at the same time. And these two are still standing with their hands and looking into you. But it's all sort of blending into this super sphere of just ultimate love. And this sort of super white light, but it's got a blue hue to it too. It's so gorgeous. It's still happening. It's turning into a small little orb, and you're laying on the ground and you're like this. And I'm supposed to do something here. I'm supposed to give this to you somehow. So let me see. It's like a breath mint, or is it something I can put in your heart? I'm just examining where it goes. It looks like it's turning into a quarter. I'm putting in your hand right now. As I do that, there's a ripple of aggressive energy that just comes out really quick, and you're sort of pulling out a sword from your gut. You're setting it aside, you're sitting up, and you are looking at this coin. You are turning it around. You're crying. You feel like you have a massive headache or something. You feel like, oh gosh, I fell asleep. I don't know what's wrong with me, kind of thing. But you are collecting yourself. You're looking at this coin and flipping it around. You remember the meaning of this. The more that you remember, it starts to turn into a bigger and bigger and bigger orb of blue-white energy. You say, please come help me heal, help me stand on my own 2 feet, I'm ready. As you do this, the energy sort of enters your head and your throat region. You're standing up, you're allowing it to absorb through all your body from head to toe as you're on the beach, and it's filling all parts of you, and you're just standing on the beach. You're feeling so much stronger. You're breathing it in and you're glowing. It is entirely a part of you from head to toe. And from back to front to back, all parts of you are surrounded by this glowing. You are just glowing. You look so much better. You don't look like a wreck. You look like you were you'd been in the sea forever and you just washed up onto shore and were just full of old dead seaweed or something. I mean, you look like a healthy woman now. You're starting to glow as a healthy woman now. It's absolutely beautiful. Now when you lift off of the ground, you actually are feeling joy. You're doing it because you're feeling joy, not because you don't want to feel the ground. You're okay feeling the ground, but you're feeling so happy you just feel like you're getting lighter. You feel like you are lifting into heaven. You long to feel heaven around you. So I say, let's go there together. Let's go right now. Let's go to heaven. We're releasing all the sand out of your feet so we can lift you up higher. You're growing angel wings. But there seems to be an angel just behind you, lifting you to heaven as well. I'm just watching this taking place. We're entering into a heavenly space now. It's really light and airy here. It's really peaceful here. It's really comforting. It's really natural. It's beautiful here. It's the way it should be, right? It's the way you always wanted it to be. And it feels right. It feels like you remember, like you know this place. And you feel healed. You feel natural. You feel amazing. You're laying down on some relaxed, sort of reclined heavenly chair. You're just relaxing. You're just bathing in the heavenly light, which is love. You're bathing in love. You are surrounded by love, all the love that came to fill you. You are that. That is all a part of you now. It's peaceful. I'm asking my spirit guides, what do we do about all of these scenes? How can we heal and purify them while you are at peace right now? Let's see. We let them go. We just let them go, Abby. We just let them go. They're showing me all the scenes are turning into an orb of their own kind. They have strings like balloon strings that were attached to you, but now the strings are being let go into the atmosphere, so they are drifting into the light so they can transform in the light. They are all just letting go into the light. They are peacefully floating into the light. All the most darkest scenes, the most violent feelings, the most loudest screams, the most terrible moments. They're finding their way into the light while this part of you is just absolutely peaceful, filled with loving energy, trusting in love, trusting in God, trusting in heaven, trusting in angels, trusting in the spiritual healing energy. It's really pure. It's all around you. It's safe here. You say, I am safe. I am loved here. I'm understood here. I feel taken care of. I feel comforted. I feel nurtured. I'm so happy to feel this way. I'm happy to feel what happiness feels like. You're starting to collect in a way that creates natural tears because you understand this feeling of what happiness feels like. It makes sense to you. Remember it. And sometimes you can feel happy in such a way that it creates tears because it's so meaningful, it's so good, it's so loving, it's so beautiful. It's warming your heart. Your heart is feeling warmth. You say, my heart feels warmth. It feels so warm. It's creating real feelings of warm love inside of me. I feel it in my heart. I feel it filling my mind. I feel it filling my fingertips, my body. I feel it everywhere, all around me. I feel healed. As you say all these things, you are also in a state of rest. You are sleeping and dreaming, and you are feeling happy at the same time. You feel safe and at peace here. So, they're showing me an angel. This angel is watching over you. That's all I say. Everything is relaxing. Everything is moving backward. See if there's anything else. There's one more scene here. They're showing me, this is a little bit violent here, that they're showing me what is like a priest and he has a stake. There's a girl, she's stuck to a chair, and then he's pushing a stake into this shoulder. He's pushing the chair down now. She's screaming and trying to get away. She's wanting to free herself from this moment, but there's nothing she can do. All she can do is scream. He kicks her chair and she's moving backwards. There's a young girl, she's would be like, I don't know, 18 is turning into a very young girl now. She's crying. She wants heaven to hear her cry. This is a big deal because of the symbolism of the man that is a priest, right? And that should be a reflection of love or heaven, but it is a reflection of harm. This is what they're showing me right now. Let's see what else we can do. I'm stopping him. I'm lifting the chair up. I am taking the ropes off. I am letting her run free. She's instantly running far, 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 far away. I hear the scene returning, and I hear the girl say, "Let go of me." This time the man has black leather gloves. She's again more like 18. She's still roped to a chair. She has more confidence that when she says, "Let go of me," that she could be heard, or she's more sure of herself and able to be assertive with what she feels. Instead of just screaming, she's saying no. This is important. She's finding her voice to say no for things that she means no to. And she is actually breaking the chair this time, and the ropes are just completely just burnt or just dissolved away instantly. She's saying no, she's looking into his eyes, and she is the dominating one. She's looking into his eyes and saying no. And the more she says no, he becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. He's turning into a puddle, and he's completely evaporating now. Now she's walking towards this priest, and she is looking into his eyes, and she says no. She keeps walking forward. He is walking back and putting his hands up, and she's saying no. She's continuing to walk towards him and saying no. He too is starting to dissolve. She feels the feet beneath her, the ground beneath her feet. She is becoming empowered. She is choosing to dissolve this space herself. She is pulling in the walls and breaking up the ground. She's breaking up the ceiling. She is screaming this time, but not screaming in terror. She's actually screaming in glory. And as she screams, she's breaking everything apart herself and releasing herself from this structure of experience through choice. She's choosing to experience something else. She's taking her power back. Anything that says that she doesn't deserve to have it or takes control of her, she says no to. There's another version of seeing something is coming down from the sky and tries to land on top of her. She ducks out of the way, does like a roll, and stands up and goes to and says no. She keeps saying no to everything, and the more she says no, everything gets smaller and dissolves. She has taken her power back. She's choosing to take her power back. And this part of you is feeling this experience as you dream, as you taking your power back. What will she grow? What will she create? What will she make anew when she takes her power back? It's a question mark. We don't know. You right now are very sure of yourself. You've broken all the foundation of this. You are walking in a direction. I don't know where you are going next. You get to decide. You get to create your own beautiful space, your own beautiful reality through choice. You feel sure of yourself and confident. Now again, I am being pulled backward. This is where we stop. All right, Trisha. Well, thank you very much for this experience. So you hang in there, okay? Keep me posted on how you're doing. And for those of you watching, if you're interested in a soul rebirth journey with me, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.